What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the channel. Today we're going to be talking about probably the worst thing that's ever happened on planet Earth, McDonald's Happy Meal toys. Now, people have been complaining about these for years now, and it's really stupid because people act like McDonald's offering gendered quote-unquote toys in McDonald's Happy Meals is just like the worst thing that's ever happened, right? They think that like if a kid is with their mom in the McDonald's drive-thru and they hear, hey, would you like a boy's Happy Meal or a girl's Happy Meal, that they're just gonna grow up to be like a serial killer who hates everything. And of course that's over-exaggeration, but it's really stupid. Like, there's so many more important things going on in the world, and for some reason people have been focusing in on the fact that McDonald's offers toys for quote-unquote each gender in the Happy Meal. So we'll be talking about this in today's video because there's an article that I want to go over here that I think really just highlights the stupidity, honestly, of this entire thing, this whole argument, really. So let's go ahead and just get right on into it. I'm going to go ahead and narrate this story for you, and then we'll break it down as we go. We were driving the 5 hours from Chicago to St. Louis to visit my parents, and although we'd often pack snacks for our 2 kids ahead of such a road trip, we realized halfway through the drive that pickings were slim. The harvest of 1844 wasn't that great. The cold crept in very early in the season, and unfortunately a famine had developed. My husband pulled off at a nearby exit, and I saw the golden arches of McDonald's just around the corner. We normally don't indulge in fast food, and if we do, I'm a Taco Bell fan all the way. But it had already been a long trek, and we had no business being picky, because there's not, you know, millions of options to go to. There's not literally just streets of options here in the United States. I don't know how it is in the rest of the world, but here in the US, in the main roads, especially in small towns, well, this isn't really a small town. I'm assuming it's not because they're talking about, well, it is a road trip. It might be a small town. On the main roads of small towns in the United States, there literally is like 20 fast food restaurants, like 30 different convenience stores, like a Walmart, something like that, like a big major like store, something like that to anchor everything. That is like the main street of a lot of small cities here in the United States. So they had no business being picky, even though there's infinite options, essentially. They could go into any convenience store and there's literally just aisles of different candies, snacks, bags of different things to pick from. The only food in the entire country at this point is McDonald's because, you know, the US is being ravaged by famine. When you just look at an American, you can tell that, you know, we're starving ourselves out, right? So my oldest daughter had to go to the bathroom, so she and I went inside to order while my husband, toddler, and dog saddled up to a picnic table out front. When I approached the counter, I was clearly a noob, and you spelled noob wrong. Oh my god. Well, you didn't technically spell it wrong, but you could have used the real spelling of it. All the brightly lit signs featuring value meals and combo deals and super sizes overwhelmed me. Okay, now you're lying. Super sizes don't exist in McDonald's anymore. You're not being truthful. I'm almost 20 years old. I barely remember when they got rid of super sizes because they did it pretty early on into my childhood, but super sizes haven't been around for like well over a decade at this point, so no. And I know you said earlier, we don't indulge in fast food very often, and if we do, I'm a Taco Bell fan, but you've never ordered anywhere before? You've never, like, went to a fast food restaurant? You don't understand how to read a brightly lit sign that has meals and combo deals? Like, they have literally expedited the process of reading these signs so much that, like, someone who's illiterate essentially could read these signs and order. I don't really understand how you can be overwhelmed by the signs in a McDonald's, but then again, when, you know, you get upset by the fact that your kids were given, you know, a toy based quote-unquote essentially only on their gender, that's, you know, a problem that probably would arise. I ordered some burgers for me and my husband and 2 Happy Meals for my kids. I didn't expect so many follow-up questions. Do you want a 4 or 6-piece chicken McNugget? Apple slices or yo plate? What drink? Milk, water, or juice box? These sound like some really hard-hitting questions. I don't know how I would be able to answer either if I wanted my kid to have 4 or 6 chicken nuggets, or if I wanted them to eat some healthier apple slices, or if I wanted them to indulge a little bit more with some yo play. Milk, water, or juice box is a really tough question for an adult to answer. I mean, if your kid was actually doing it for themselves, if your toddler was ordering their own meal, I can see why these questions would be tough and they would be overwhelmed. But you as an adult should not have a problem with this. I answered them all as quickly as I could with a full-bladdered 4-year-old tugging on my shirt, and just when I was digging in my purse for my credit card, the cashier asked one more question. Are these for girls or boys? Oh my god. Oh no. I looked up. Genuine confusion crept across my face, so she repeated herself. Why does that matter? I asked. Oh, for the toy. I looked down at my daughter, who was now paying attention. It felt like we were all standing there staring at each other for an hour, as I internally waffled with a reply. They gave you the explanation as to why they asked the question, and this is just once again the most impossible question to answer, right? Do I want my child to have a toy that is boy-themed or girl-themed? Which one will I choose? Once again, for a child, maybe, yeah, they would have a little bit more of a hard time choosing this one because, you know, I don't really care what kids play with. If your boy wants to play with the Barbie doll, whatever, man, let him play with the Barbie doll. Who really cares? Get him the girl's Happy Meal. But of course, when you're an adult and you can't really decide between the 4- and 6-piece Chicken McNugget or the apple slices and Yoplait, this is a question that it ruins your mental process. So, do I just tell her I have 2 girls? Do I ask for more information about the toys? I considered asking what the boy and girl toys were, but felt that in doing so, I'd be normalizing such a classification. Do I refuse to answer? Ask to speak to a manager? Of course Karen would ask to speak to a manager, or consider asking to speak to a manager. Why wouldn't that pop into somebody's head? Oh my god. I feel so bad for fast food employees sometimes, man, because they have to deal with people like this who just can't answer a simple fucking question. Literally the easiest question to answer ever. Would you like your children to have a boy-themed toy or a girl-themed toy? Your child's gender does not have to concretely decide which one you get. You get to choose. They get to choose. But you can't make that choice. You have to make it more of a problem than anything else. Jesus Christ. Oh my god. Let's continue, man. I'll take one of each, I said. While we waited for our order, I took my daughter to the bathroom. She asked, "What were you and that woman talking about?" I once again struggled for words, but as I opened my mouth, my kid kept talking. Did she say I get a toy? Is that true? Her mind, thankfully, seemed to be elsewhere. Yeah, for some reason, I doubt that this happened in the first place. I feel like you only put this in the article to make it seem like the kid actually noticed this, to make it look like it's an actual issue, but you failed at actually doing that. Because all it really does is highlight the fact that kids really don't care. Kids really don't care about the gender of the toy as long as they get a toy. The kid wasn't worried about arguing about the semantics at the counter with the employee about, well, why is it a boy toy or a girl toy? All the kid cared about is, oh, I'm getting a toy with my Happy Meal. That's pretty cool. You have, throughout this whole article, tried to make everything building up to this become an issue and have entirely failed to do so. Now, here's where the problem really builds up to a head, folks. Now, trigger warning, of course. I want everyone to be prepared. Put on some sunglasses. It's gonna get bright. If you're watching this at night, I actually encourage you to turn the lights off because it's about to get pretty scary. Enjoy this one here. When our food was ready, I grabbed the trays and rushed out to the picnic table. Before I could even hand the Happy Meal boxes to my kids, I ripped apart the paper handles and reached in for the toy. So, you were so upset by the fact that they quote-unquote genderized the toys, you took apart the joy of opening the Happy Meal away from your kids, where they get to like pull out the toy and enjoy the whole experience for themselves, which was the cool part about it for me as a kid because I used to eat Happy Meals. You took that away from your kids so you could make a fucking scene. Congratulations. Everything leading up to this just indicates to me that you lack a lot of mental maturity. But inside the first, a miniature Barbie doll. Oh my god. Oh my god. The other, a Hot Wheels car. Oh, the humanity. I don't even know what to do, guys. I might have to end the video. I don't feel very good. It's just, what is the world supposed to do when McDonald's is handing out Barbie dolls and girls' toys and Hot Wheels and a boy's Happy Meal? What if a girl wants a boy's Happy Meal? Can the parent order a boy's Happy Meal? Of course they can. She just did it, and it's not a problem. It shouldn't be this big of a problem, but everyone has to make it one. To add insult to injury, the Barbie came with a purple hair comb and the Hot Wheels car came with a 2-piece plastic ramp a kid could learn to build. Are you serious? This is what we're focusing in on? Okay, listen here, okay? I know you're not that bright. I'm reading this whole thing, and I know you can't really, like, think this through before you say it, so get this. The Barbie doll, the whole point of playing with it is to make it as pretty as possible and to beautify it, okay? That's what girls traditionally like to do. Okay? That's why it's part of the girl's Happy Meal. What sense would it make for the Barbie to come? What is it supposed to come with? Okay? That's my question to you. with anything but a purple hair comb where you beautify it? What is it supposed to come with? Instructions to build a goddamn rocket to space? And the Hot Wheels car came with a 2-piece plastic ramp. Dude, oh my god, that is so terrible. You know, kids actually putting a puzzle piece together and building a cool ramp to send their Hot Wheel car through. The humanity. Oh my god. Boys actually get to learn how to play with the Hot Wheel car and they can build the ramp. And it's not even just the boys. Like, you know, this woman has 2 daughters. And she got a boy's Happy Meal. McDonald's Incorporated did not step in and be like, oh, you can't get a boy Happy Meal because you have 2 girls. And the girls can enjoy the Hot Wheels car with the 2-piece plastic ramp. And they can build it and have as much fun as they want with it. The only people really enforcing any gender bias with the whole thing are the idiots who are complaining that this is actually a gender bias instead of just ordering whichever one they want. I sat there watching my girls fight over who got to play with what. Don't worry. They were less concerned with the appropriate toy for their gender as they were with being able to play with whichever one the other sister had, and debated with my husband over whether I should see it as progress that these moments of blatant gender stereotyping are few and far between. It's not actual gender stereotyping. They are few and far between. The only reason that they really exist in the first place is because people like you actually create the problem yourself. Anyone can order whichever one they want, regardless of gender. If it was actual gender stereotyping, they would force you to get whichever one for whichever gender you had. If you had 3 boys, they would give you 3 Happy Meals with boy toys if it was actual gender stereotyping. However, they don't do that. And once again, you've proven my point correct. Your girls don't care about gender stereotyping. They're children. They don't care about the gender of the toy or anything like that. They don't care about what it's supposed to be. They just care that they got a toy in the Happy Meal. The only people who make an issue out of things like this are people like you. The McDonald's employee is willing to comply with whatever request you make. That is their job. McDonald's as a corporation will do the same because you are giving them money. Your child will play with virtually any toy you put in front of them unless you have raised them to not do so. You are the problem in all of this. Nobody else. It's time to take some self-accountability into factor here. McDonald's has done a lot of things right. It's the world's 4th largest employer. It's contributed to global children's charities like Ronald McDonald House, and heck, it's even rolling out a plant-based burger this month. But it's gotta be better at this. When consumers pushed back at the lack of nutritious options for families, McDonald's made changes. They started offering apples in 2004, they excluded soda from the Happy Meal section of the menu boards in 2013, and they swapped regular juice for a less sugary organic equivalent in 2017. They're currently making other changes to the kids' meals to reduce calories, fat, and salt. Yeah, because at the end of the day, McDonald's is a business, and when they can do something good that makes good press or makes people happy, they're going to do it, which is why they're not going to force boys to only get boys Happy Meals because they know people are going to be upset by that. The lack of, self-awareness in this whole thing is magical. It's rare that you see an adult write something like this and just not realize what's going on behind the scenes. Like, they just can't see that it's them who has created the problem throughout the entire thing. They're the one who can't order off of the menu. They're the one who has the ordering skills of the toddler that they're raising. They are the one who created the gender problem with the Happy Meal that they're causing the problem with in the first place. They're the one who wrote the article so poorly that they ended up actually enforcing the other side of the argument in the first place.